Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about planning a epic trip to Milos, Greece. I visited Milos, Greece last September and the beaches absolutely blew me away. It was one of the most unique places I've ever been and it was an amazing trip. So in this video, I'm going to go into detail on everything you need to know, including where to stay, what beaches you can't miss, and my favorite restaurants. Milos is a part of the Cyclades Islands. I hope I'm saying that right. And it's a bit bigger than the other islands in the area. However, most of this island is pretty rural. There aren't a lot of roads and big towns, very quiet and a perfect place for a relaxing vacation if you want to check out amazing beaches, take amazing photos, and have a really relaxed time. Milos is perfect for you. So it's not like Mykonos or Santorini where there's tons of tourists and parties and loud music. Not at all. At night, it was so quiet. It was almost a bit eerie, like it was just so quiet. So it's not a huge party town, but it's charming and beautiful. And if you're into more nature and beaches, this island is perfect for you. So when you're planning a trip to Milos, just keep in mind you will have to rent a car. Everything that you are going to want to do in Milos is spread out throughout the island, so renting a car is definitely a must. And I also would suggest pre-booking your rental car online. I wish I did this because I was going to pre-book my rental and I decided not to do it. I'm like kind of kicking myself because when I rented my car in person, the only automatic car they had left was a bit pricier than the other automatic cars they already sold out, and it was a big Jeep. It was like, it felt like driving a boat. So if I would have pre-booked it in advance, I would have paid less money. I booked mine through Milos Rent, which was so easy to find. They have a location right at the airport and they also have a location right across from the ferry dock. So we just got off the ferry, walked across the street and rented our car immediately. Driving in Milos was surprisingly pretty easy. On Google Maps, it looks like there's tons of roads in Milos and it looks like this crazy huge island. In reality, only like 3 of these roads are actually paved. They have one road that goes through the north side of the island, one road that goes to the south part of the island, a couple roads that lead to Plaka. That area is a bit more crowded with roads, but otherwise you're not going to get lost in Milos, even though I did, because I decided to drive on a dirt road to see where it led me, and I ended up like on this random part of the island. Nothing was going on. It was just a fun adventure to have. You don't have a problem driving around in Milos. Where to stay in Milos? So there's really only 2 areas where you can stay in Milos. One is Plaka, which is the actual town center, or you could stay in Polonia, which is a super adorable fisherman's village. I opted to stay for Polonia and that was a perfect choice because it had a really cute homey vibe. There was cute little restaurants that lined the fisherman's village and you could walk through it at night. It wasn't too busy or crowded and I really liked how we were right in front of the water. If you want to stay where there's more action, where there's bars and restaurants, shopping, and more of a town center, you probably would like to stay in Plaka. Plaka is located on this like top of a hill. You can't park in Plaka. You have to park in a parking lot at the bottom of the town and then walk up with your luggage to your accommodation. So that might be something to keep in mind. I stayed in Milos for 4 nights, so 5 days, and it was the perfect amount of time to stay in Milos. It was enough time to see all the beaches that I wanted to see, except one beach, which was Kleftiko Beach. It's the only beach you can access by a boat, and the day that I was supposed to go on this boat tour, it was too windy, so it was completely canceled. So I'm going to talk more about my top beaches that you have to see, but in terms of planning the beaches in your itinerary, you can see, I would say like 2 to 3 beaches a day, especially if you're tight on time. Some of these beaches aren't really perfect for like laying out. they're mostly just cool because they look so interesting. So some of the beaches I literally just took some photos, whereas some of the other ones I laid out and spent a couple hours there. Though Milos is known for its beaches, you can totally spend some time exploring Plaka even if you're not staying there. It was a great place to watch the sunset. There's tons of cute shops and restaurants. If you have like a cloudy day, a rainy day, this would be a perfect time to explore Plaka. Just so you can save those sunny bright days for the beaches. Okay, so let me get into these epic beaches. So the first beach you cannot miss is Sarakiniko. Sarakiniko is probably the most famous beach in Milos. It has like this moon-like texture. It's made of volcanic rock. I wouldn't say this is like my number one beach to lay out in, but I had so much fun taking photos and exploring this beach that I'd spent like a lot of time there. It was my favorite beach just because it was so unique. I was kind of confused about parking and the beaches in Milos just because it's a natural site, like where you can find parking. There's very clear parking, tons of parking spaces. You'll all walk down this one path to the beach. Once you're at that point, be sure to explore around. Another fun thing about Sarakiniko is that you definitely have to watch it during sunset. So cool, got to fly the drone. Amazing views. Definitely a highlight of my trip. There's a beach right next to Sarakiniko called Papafragas, and while it wasn't my favorite beach, it did offer some really cool scenery. There was people diving off of it. There's two parking lots. I parked in both just to check out both sides of this beach because you can't access them. There's like two parking lots. The beach is here. You can access one area from this parking lot and the other area from this parking lot. And people were laying out, but it wasn't like that big. Don't miss this beach. Definitely go and take some photos. The day I went was a bit cloudy. That's probably what's making me say it wasn't that great because it was cloudy. I didn't get to see those natural blue colors from the sun. It did offer some cool photo ops. The next beach you can't miss is called Ferapotamos. This is on the northern part of the island, and driving here was really crazy. You have to go down this pretty steep hill, and thankfully I found parking at the bottom of the hill because and this beach had a really cool bohemian vibe. There was some beanbag chairs, some natural umbrellas. You could buy like some food and snacks at this beach. It's also lined by these cool fisherman houses, and you can actually rent those out online. I found a few listings of them on Airbnb and Booking.com, so that would be a super cool place to stay, especially at night. This beach was fun. Just a note, it is a rock beach, so I like to wear these water shoes I got on Amazon. They were only $12. I don't know where they are in my room right now, so I can't show you, but they were pink and they had like 25 different colors. And they are so worth it because a lot of people were trying to get in the water and swim, but the rocks kind of hurt their feet. Like, you didn't get past the first point, you couldn't really swim. So it was a perfect thing to have on hand. And the water was amazing. This beach was very cool, and you could totally lay out here for a good full day. The next two beaches are located on the southern half. The first beach is Tisgrado. This one is a bit more challenging to get to. You can't just walk to this beach, you're gonna have to climb down to get there. It wasn't that hard, however, be sure to have like some closed-toe shoes and a backpack that zips up. If you have a tote bag, it might be harder to get down. What you have to do to get to this beach is there's a rope and a ladder. And when I went in September, there were 2 ladder pieces missing. So if those were there, it wouldn't have been that hard. And you have to go down these huge steps to get to the beach.
All right, it's Dana's turn. She's coming down. She's almost here. How do you feel?
You will get totally sandy and like dirty just climbing down there, but once you're down there, it's so worth it because you have this amazing beach. There's tons of cool caves you can kind of swim into. My only note is that you should get there pretty early if you want to stay here all day. When we went in the afternoon, a lot of the space in the sun was taken up by people tanning and hanging out. So we didn't even have a place to put our towels, but this beach was really cool. There's a beach right next to Tisgrado. It's called Fury Placa. Probably the best beach in Milos if you want to lay out all day long. There's tons of space. A lot of these other beaches are quite small. This one is the biggest and it's a sand beach, which is a plus. You'll have to find a parking spot off the cliff on this beach. I found one and I had to park like totally sideways, so it feels weird, but it's totally fine. Be sure that cars can get out when you're parking your car. There was a place where you could buy some snacks as well right before you get into the beach.
Yes, the fruit is grapes, watermelon, and melon with watermelon.
Let's do grapes, watermelon.
Okay.
Entering this beach was a bit confusing as well. The path says to the beach, and when you get there, there's just like these rocks and water. Like there's no clear way to get to this beach, so you kind of have to do some exploring, find an open space where you'll find the big beach. There was tons of space, full sun, and it was super shallow all the way out, so you don't have to worry about if you can't swim. The water was warm. If I would go back to Milos, I would for sure spend a full day at this beach. It had all the check marks for a fun beach day. And my last point is where to eat in Milos. My favorite restaurant in Milos and my favorite restaurant that I ate in Greece, I have to say, so this is big, you guys, would be Medusa in Mandrakia. Mandrakia is located on the northern part of the island. It's a small, charming fisherman's village. And this restaurant was amazing. You could see like octopus being dried out. Wine was like €2 a glass. The shrimp was so fresh. It was the perfect scenery, and we got to sit along the water, and it was my favorite lunch because not only was it affordable, it was delicious. Another restaurant that I enjoyed was in Polonia, and Polonia has a bunch of fun restaurants located along the water. Once we went for like appetizers and some Aperol Spritz, and then another restaurant that I really recommend for eating was called Itinerary. They had amazing fried cheese, which I'm obsessed with. I don't know what it is, but it just tastes so good, and delicious fresh shrimps. That was a great restaurant that we ate at as well. And that pretty much sums up my travel guide for Milos. I hope you found it helpful for planning your trip. It's a big island, but there's not much activity except seeing those epic beaches and exploring Plaka. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Greek videos, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.